is changing everything, but should it change how we connect? Alexander and Frederick dig into a LinkedIn debate about using AI in citizen dialogues. They challenge the idea of replacing real voices with algorithms. Tune into the Honeypot podcast for a critical look at technology and the essence of human interaction.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Honeypot podcast with me, Alexander Wernerberg, and my wonderful friend and colleague,
Fredrik Heghammar.
Yes.
Nice to see you again. On the other side of the lens.
Yes, exactly. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. It's windy, so it might get some windy sounds outside. But it's good. It's good. It's springtime and crisp outside, which I like, you know. That when you feel that when you're outside, you get a lot of oxygen.
Yes. Sun is back again. Yes.
So tell me, my dear colleague, what are we talking about today?
We stumbled upon a LinkedIn post the other week that really sparked a discussion or a conversation between us, where we are a little bit. I think that both of us were a little bit triggered by.
Yeah, you were kind of upset.
I was straightforward upset. To be fair, this one is about. To give you some context and some background, there are if you are using LinkedIn, maybe on any social media platform these days, there are a lot of people talking about AI. There are also a lot of people that have been claiming themselves as AI experts.
Yeah, and to be frank, some of them are as well. So
some of them are really knowledgeable around AI. What triggered us, or maybe triggered me the most, was the fact that there are some AI evangelists or AI experts out there who are talking about AI, in my opinion, a little bit like technology for the sake of technology. And are also driving organizations and decision makers out there towards a place where I think that AI is a very dangerous thing to use.
I agree with you, and I double agree with you, because I mean, of course, with new technology, you kind of try to squeeze it in everywhere you can, and that's the game of the nature of the game, sort of.
Yeah, sure.
But still, sometimes you can see when technology is used in a way that, oh shit, this is this can go straight to hell, if you know. And to us, working with the power of perspectives and real people's data, this was very scary. Do you mind painting up the scenario for us?
Yes, of course. So this specific example, and I'm not going to go too hard on anyone who had the main idea here, but in this case, we were talking about how you could use AI in citizen dialogues out there. And the thing here was that the example that was made in this case was to build, let's say, bots and personas with the help of AI.
Like a knowledge database, basically, based on personas.
Yeah, exactly. And then ask them, instead of asking real citizens when you're making decisions in a municipality or in a city or in an area.
Yes.
And I think that what it all comes down to, in my opinion, is the going back to the thing I mentioned about not using technology for the sake of technology, but going back to what's the purposeful let's say, application of how to use technology in these different cases. And in my world, the best thing about AI is that we can use technology in ways to erase tasks and work time away from people, to spend more time in discussions and collaborations and dialogue, not less time
definitely
in dialogue.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
I think also, sorry, go ahead.
No, it just sparked some strong feelings from me around the fact that in my opinion, that this was pretty much like the perfect example of the opposite of what to use AI for.
Yes, so let's go back to the root a little bit, because I would say that nothing wrong with the idea at all.
No.
It's just the person might not have the knowledge about how these things actually is about to happen, sort of, because citizen dialogues are required by law in Sweden. So basically this idea is how it was presented illegal, in that sense.
Yeah.
But you can twist it a little bit to make it a really good tool. I'll come back to that later. I think the main problem this is solving is that when you are developing a part of the city, let's say we're going to do a roundabout in a city, and by law you need to do a citizen dialogue to ask people, what do you think about this? Do you see any implications with it? So that's all good, right? Unfortunately, and I'm generalizing a bit here now, a lot of people working with this, they don't want to hear from the people, because they think they know the best. Because to them, hearing from the people means trouble. And why does it mean trouble? Because they are not using technology to listen to these people in the best way, or connecting with these people in the best way. So the people that they are, forced to listen to are the people that, no matter what, will make their voice heard in about things like this. And that's usually complaints. So it's nothing constructive in it, in the way it is. So the ground problem here is that the people who are in charge of development, they don't have the right tools to connect to the citizens, and that means that they kind of hide the dialogues. They put up a post on the local library or in a very small ad in a newspaper and said, we did a citizen dialogue, but no one said anything. That's the best scenarios for them. But from where you and I come from is like, when you are bringing in people, you use a structured process method, then you will get constructive feedback. And that's something different. So I think that's the core problem.
And it's also a bit funny to me who have seen so many cases in this world where. And I totally get that it's a little bit counterintuitive, because, as you say, if you make it hard to engage, or if you make it hard to share your ideas or feedback to municipality or a city or an area when they're making a change, it's usually the most loudest voices, or the complaining and backwards striving people who are making their voices heard.
Yeah, so it's like Karens and grumpy old men.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. And I think that's the counterintuitive part, because I think that a lot of the decision makers are thinking then that if we are making it even easier, we will just hear more from these complaining people. But that's not the fact.
That's the opposite.
Fact is that it's the opposite, exactly. So if you make it easy enough for people to share and contribute and give feedback to these kind of things, the positive voices or the reasoning voices will usually be louder than the complaining voices. Because
Absolutely.
there are more people.
And thinking about that, so let's say that this idea that was posted was, well meant. Is like, let's build up a virtual team of citizens, and then use public data to build up their personas. So that person likes that, doesn't like that, and so on, and they prefer this, and so on. And then you can use that as a citizen dialogue to understand. So when you have an idea, you can run it through a prompt, and you can get information from these different personas that you build up, and that will give you a direction. I would say that that's a great tool as a start,
Yep.
because that's like the basic data to start from, and it would definitely be 10,000 times better than you sitting by your desk by yourself, coming up with things that you assume people would like. So let's say you use this tool for the first phase of development to discover new opportunities. But then, if you skip the step of asking real people when it comes to specifically these kind of things, then you're on deep water, I would say.
Definitely, and I think that you're onto something here as well, that you can definitely cover some base with that data, but you will still not get the right nuances in these things. And we've seen some example. We've seen from multiple Swedish municipalities that we're working with, Uppsala among one of them, who are like, the feedback they're getting. Some of the feedback wouldn't be possible for an AI to come up with.
No,
because they're completely experience based in that specific situation.
Exactly,
yeah. And I just think that's that's one of the most important things to understand here about the AI, the rise of AI being used in different places right now, is the fact that you even though AI is helping you with the speed of things, you can't look past the fact that the data behind the AI usually is a bit of like a black box for the organization. That you to be fair, you don't really know where the exact data comes from, and you don't have access to the exact data unless it's completely built to be a layer on top of your own data.
But I would use a panel with virtual citizens to, understand where they are, so I can reach them. I would use it to get like point me to directions, and overall, on a high level, understand where we are heading and who we have to deal with. But I can also draw a little parallel to the internet websites today, because we have I don't know the exact figures, but it's very high. So the percentage of internet traffics that are bots, I think it's over 70%. I think it's even more. But so that means that the traffic on websites are mainly bots. 2/3 at least are bots visiting websites. That means that you are the data you get from your websites, how people move, how the interaction looks like, you cannot tailor it to be easier to do things based on bots' movements, sort of. So you analyze the bots' movements with bots, and then suddenly you have created web pages that are optimized for bots and not for humans. And I think that's a typical example. Because let's say we do a test, we do a UX test on a website, and we see 70% of our visitors they're doing this, and 30% are doing this. Which one are you focusing on? Of course, the 70%, because you want to turn them into 100%. You're not focusing on the 30% and try to make it 50. And I think that's kind of scary when it comes to this, because imagine the website being a city. where you ask people about the city, and suddenly you have you built a city based on data from bots or artificial data. That suddenly you could have, like, in less than central Stockholm, you can have a city built on data from Dubai.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they are the most, they have the most data online. You know, this is it's scary.
Very related to the situation, and I would really like encourage people there to really like dare to ask the tough questions when it comes to these kind of things around AI. And everyone who I just want to say that everyone who knows me and have been listening to me knows that I'm a big fan of AI and technology and new tools and use that technology in the right ways. But I just think that there's such a strong rise behind using AI for stuff that's completely like it's setting fire to my brain in some cases.
Okay, so let's play a little bit devil's advocate here, because I'm like you. I love technology, as you all know, and we are using AI on a daily basis in our tool and everything. But to be honest, do you think you would have this point of view on this if you hadn't built hives and get the knowledge that you have, how important real perspectives are?
I think that it would definitely take me a longer time to reach that conclusion, but I would still say that one of the main driving forces behind hives is the fact that I think that like the main reason behind all of this is that what we're doing as human beings or as organizations or as companies is that we're building stuff for the future, or we're doing stuff for the future, or we're doing stuff to manage what's happening ahead. And going back to the core, who are we doing it for? We're doing it for human beings, right? in the end. And
I agree with you. I agree with you. I was just, thinking about, I mean, previous to what we're doing together now, you were an IT consultant, more or less, right? And if you had a tool like this where you could do your work faster, quicker, and the result will be good enough for your clients, you would 100% use it with no doubt.
I would.
Be honest now.
I'm being completely honest, and I think that I would definitely use it in some cases where the
I mean, in this specific case.
I don't think not in the specific case of citizen dialogue. I don't think I would.
No, but building a new city, because that's your job, to build the city, and then you just have to do citizen dialogues. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
if you could get the data, if you thought that you could get the data, and that you believed so much in the artificial intelligence, so you believed that you could get accurate data from it, you would use it.
But that's exactly the main point here, is that if I would believe it, I would of course do it.
Exactly.
And that's the main reason behind why I or we thought it was important to do this episode as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we have seen, let's say, we have seen the other side of it.
There's no shortcuts.
No,
that's
exactly.
the thing.
Yeah.
It's no shortcuts.
So I'm not in any case like bashing anyone who really think that is the best way to do it. I'm just saying that we've seen the dark sides of doing it in that way.
No. Absolutely, and I agree with you. It's also like if you did a proper citizen dialogue, and you use this AI panel, I don't think it would differ that much. I mean, some details that you will never get, like we're doing right now with Uppsala, and you get so personalized experience details about things that really matters, if you ask me. But the overall, if you look with one eye, it will be very similar. And it's the same thing when I'm doing. In the past, did a lot of workshops with companies, and let's put all the pains and gains on the table, and then work towards a priority list. What we need to do in the company to move forward. I could write that list in my sleep. Because 99% of them looks exactly the same, and that's like I could walk in there, write it on the whiteboard. It would take me 2 minutes, and that's basically 3 to 4 hours work for the group. But the thing is, it's so important for the group to do the work, to get there, to massage the thoughts of, what do we really need to do, and how should we do, what's the pains, what's the gain, and then make the priority list together. And it's like you get the same point of view, you get the engagement and all that stuff. Is so important.
Yeah, it's the part of like rallying people and getting people accountable for stuff when it comes to change as well. So I have the exact same experience as you mentioned. I was working mainly within IT consulting and related stuff before Hives, and the fun thing is that even though like in 9 out of 10 projects that we were running, we could probably guess most of the needs before we even started the project.
Yes.
But we still started every project with understanding and listening to the people that we were doing the change for or implementing the change for, because having them getting them the feeling that they have been heard and have been given an opportunity to get their voice heard and share their ideas and insights and opportunities and challenges before we choose which path to go. That will, in the end, make the solution better received.
Yes, I agree.
Anyhow, so
yeah. So, what's the takeaway from this?
I think that the main takeaway from me is that I think that AI will help us as human beings in ways we can't even imagine. But we have to dare to ask the tough questions and raise the questions of where is the data from, how is this being used, why are we using this, and rather point questions and challenges towards the fact that if you're going back to the basics here, what are we as human beings great at? We're great at collaboration, creativity, and dialogue, like being with each other and coming up with stuff together. So I think that should still be the base of the thinking around AI. What could we replace so that we could spend more time on the things that human beings should spend more time on, and not replacing the human parts.
No, exactly. And I would say in this specific case as well, that may kind of turned up the heat and made us upset. Also would be much better to turn it around and collect a shitload of ideas or feedback from a lot of different citizens, and then use AI to analyze it.
Exactly. AI should be used the complete opposite.
Yes,
around,
in this case, yes.
The way around, in this case, definitely. Great.
So use tools out there. Don't be afraid, but be critical, especially when it's about. I mean, it says itself, a citizen dialogue. Needs to include a citizen.
Yeah, exactly.
And a dialogue.
It says itself. It's
Period.
It should be self-explained.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
Enough of our opinions for this week.
Yes.
I hope to.
What will
see-
we be raving on next week?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Keep those
Let's,
LinkedIn posts
yeah.
coming, and maybe we'll,
Exactly. Provoke us a little bit.
Mm.
That's nice. Great. Thank you for tuning in this week. We hope to see you next episode.
Yes.
And have a nice day. Meanwhile, bye-bye.
Cheerio.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Honeypot Podcast, brought to you by Hives.co. We hope you found today's insights valuable and inspiring. If you have any questions, thoughts, or ideas, we'd love to hear from you. You can easily reach us by searching for Alexander Wennerberg or Frederick Hagemer on LinkedIn. Or feel free to drop us an email at alexander@hives.co or frederick@hives.co. And hey, if you want to learn more about how Hives.co can help you capture insights, ideas, and feedback from your team or customers to make smarter business decisions, head over to Hives.co. It's the easiest yet most powerful tool out there for driving innovation and continuous improvement. Until next time, keep innovating, and thanks for being a part of the Honeypot community.